Hello, Jacob. John O'Connor here. Good. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Great. The presumption is, as this team returns most of its guys, that the Spiders run the same sort of thing on offense and just try to get better at it. My presumption is there's a lot of modification and adjustment going on to score, and especially after that West Virginia game, I wonder if you could speak to that and just what changes with Richmond's offense as time goes on.
Um, I don't think we're making too many changes to the offense. I think the biggest thing right now is we got to make shots. It's gonna be hard for us to win games when we're not making shots. We're trying to find ways to score. I think with Tyler being out there rather than Nick, it's a little different for us. Just trying to make sure we kind of have a better connection than we have in the past. We haven't really played great. We got to figure out ways to eliminate what happened. What is that, Sunday?
Sunday's correct.
Yeah.
Hey, if I could follow up by asking you how you think you're playing. Your numbers look pretty darn good.
I don't think I'm playing well, but I mean, I'm probably my toughest critic. I think every player should be that way, but I have to be better. Sunday was unacceptable for us as a team, but for me personally as well. As a point guard, it's our job. It's my job to help us win the game, and I didn't do a good job of that. So I definitely think I can always improve. There's things that I want to do better, but as long as we're winning, that's the most important thing to me.
Thank you.
Hey, Jacob, are you your harshest critic?
Most definitely, for sure.
When you said, you weren't playing well, can you expand upon what you think you need to improve on to help the team?
Um, I think I need to shoot the ball better. I usually pride myself on consistency and efficiency, and I haven't been very efficient this year to my standards. I don't know about everybody else's, but I haven't shot the ball like I wanted to. I've been making plays. I think the biggest thing for me is just to try and stay in attack mode. I think I got a little passive against West Virginia. The press kind of made it easier for me to just throw it ahead and kind of just let the game flow. But there's times where I need to just take control of the game and just be the player that I have been in games before. So I just think there's things I can do better for sure.
Can you attribute, I guess, your shooting to something specific? Is it form? Is it just the depth perception of the arenas because of no fans? I mean, what specifically, if you can pinpoint it?
You can't pinpoint it. It's basketball. That's how it goes. One day you make shots, one day you don't. I'll get out of it. I just gotta stay confident. My teammates are helping me out, telling me to shoot. Coach Jones, I thought he was being so serious today. He came up to me. He was like, I have some advice for you, and I'm thinking it's gonna be about defense or something about the team. And he just said, shoot the ball. And so that's what it comes down to. I gotta stay confident and just let it fly.
John,
Jacob,
you got one?
hey, I do. After 5 games, thank you, Sean.
Mhm.
After 5 games, Jacob, how do you feel about the absence of fans? And is there some way that the team, whether it's the 5 guys on the court or the 10 guys off the court, can generate a little energy to make this a little bit more appealing for everybody involved?
I don't think it's as bad as people have made it seem. I know for me personally, West Virginia kind of got loud. I don't know if they had crowd noise or if they had just had more people, but when they went on the run, West Virginia was loud. In the past games we've had at home, I feel like our bench has been really talkative, really energetic, which has helped us out a lot. But it's like this for everybody. Everybody's going through it, so you just got to find ways to work around it. Gotta have it benefit you rather than somebody else.
Thank you.
Jacob, if I can ask, this will be your third game this season against a team from a Power Five conference, and I think I asked Grant about the significance of playing teams of that ilk. Even with the pandemic and with teams kind of, I guess the landscape is probably more even than in years past. Is it still a significant moment for you guys to play a team like a Vanderbilt or West Virginia or Kentucky this season?
Yes, I think that's the simplest answer is yes. It is still important to play Power Five teams. For us, for me, I think everybody kind of takes it with a chip on their shoulder to going into the game. But I think this one's probably more important than most because got beat pretty badly. So you got to approach it the right way. They're not going to be a bad team, no matter what their record has been or was or who they lost. They're going to be a good team. They're going to be probably bigger than us, stronger than us, faster than us. So we just got to play basketball and find a way to win.
And if I could follow up, I don't know if we'll talk after the game Wednesday, but you got that quick addition to your schedule for Loyola of Chicago, a team that made the Final Four a couple years ago on a neutral court. Just your thoughts about that one. I know you don't want to look ahead, but just immediate thoughts of facing a team like that on your non-conference schedule.
Oh, it's big time. They're really well coached. They have good players. I think Krutwig's been there for 100 years. He's playing great basketball. Has been playing great basketball. They're going to be a tough team. I think this 2-week stretch that we've had has been really good for us. Been really challenging. We just gotta approach it like we just lost bad. We gotta come out and prove something against Vanderbilt and then against Loyola Chicago on Friday.
Hey, real quick, John, if I can add one more. First 5 minutes of the half. I know, John. I'm sorry. First 5 minutes of the half against Vanderbilt. How important, to get off to a fast start, before that first media timeout for you guys off the heels of Sunday.
It's gonna be huge. We need to trust our defense again. West Virginia shot the lights out, and you got to think some of it's because they were hot, but some of it has to be on us. We have to come out and show that we're a good defensive team. We have to limit what they do, make things challenging for them, as well as do what we do on the offensive end. But I think it starts on the defensive end. The first 5 minutes is very critical for us.
No further questions, Your Honor.
I'm good.
All right. Take care. You guys have a good one.
You too. Appreciate it. Pretty good tag team there, John.
Hey guys, how are you?
Hi, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, as Jacob leaves, I wonder if you could talk about his first 5 games of his senior year. His numbers are pretty darn good there, and what he's been doing for you guys.
Yeah, and he always has great numbers, or has always had great numbers, and of course they don't even begin to tell the story of how valuable he is and all the many things that he does for our team. How he talks, how he keeps guys involved, how he helps younger guys. But yeah, he's just a great player. He's just so unique. The stealing the ball is just so incredible, such an incredible, unique ability that I haven't seen. Of course, Briante Weber was able to see, a couple times a year, but I get to see Jacob every day in practice, and it's just such a unique and incredible ability. But then also his passing, his command of the whole team, his ability to score, everything makes him just a great, great player.
And as you go into tomorrow's game, it's a bit of a mystery what Vanderbilt's going to put out there. Evidently, the COVID problems have lingered some. Do you have a sense as to what you're going to see, or it's still up in the air in your view?
Yeah, I really don't, John. They played their 2 games they've played were 2.5 weeks apart. Different guys played. I'm confident that Scottie Pippen Jr. and Disu will play. But beyond that, I think they've tried different lineups, and partly maybe based on the typical things that happen early in the season, being only your 3rd game, and the new situation that we're in. So, it's more of a problem for them, but it creates a problem for us in terms of scouting, because they also, when they have an older group on the floor, they have a deeper playbook. When they have a newer group on the floor, the playbook isn't quite as vast. So that just changes how we, will defend in certain situations.
Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Hey, Chris, thanks for doing this this afternoon. Jacob was joking that one of the assistant coaches came up to him during practice and was telling him he needs to shoot more, regardless of his struggles so far this season. What can a effective Jacob Gilliard offensively do for your team collectively?
Well, he's always effective. His average game is at such a high level. The standard of his average game is so impressive. But we want him to be as aggressive as possible. I think what has made us become a really, really good offensive team over the course of my time here is that, we were, when I was first here, we were very deliberate and really ran a particular pattern. And as we've gotten, as we've been here longer, we're aggressive and we know how to play and we can rely on that pattern, but it's our aggressiveness that pays off more often than not. And so I think for Jacob, that's the most important thing. Just be as aggressive as you possibly can. He might be thinking score 4 straight possessions on all of them throw a pass for an assist because he's going to make the decision and make the right basketball decision. So as being as aggressive as possible makes us an elite offensive team.
And if I could follow up, now that you've had, maybe a couple of days to look back at the West Virginia game, how correctable were the mistakes against the Mountaineers?
Well, defensively, it would be difficult to go into the game. I think they play Iowa State next. It'd be difficult to go into the game and say, let's not help on the interior and let's just guard the shooters. And watching the tape, I really thought we contested most of those threes and pretty well. Now you still have to worry about, if you're playing the percentages, the interior guys and what they're trying to do inside. What I was really pleased with was we rebounded very well, and I was hoping we would out-rebound them to illustrate how unimportant a particular statistic is in a game out of context. I think we shot a lot more free throws than them and we're even on the backboard or down 1, and just goes to show you never know how the game's going to be. But the turnovers were an issue. Now, of course, not every team can press you like West Virginia, but we had 4 turnovers in that stretch at the end of the first half. That's uncharacteristic. And we had talked about it, and I thought we were indecisive. And when you're indecisive, they really capitalize and attack and make the next pass, 2 passes, 2 dribbles that much harder. And so if we had more aggressive turnovers, I would have been happier with that. But I think because we were tentative, they capitalized on that.
Hey, Chris, is there any way to adjust to the absence of fans and generate energy that they would have provided, or is that just impossible this season and you just got to proceed without it?
Yeah, I don't think there's necessarily a way, John, except for, it is much different, just when a really big play or a great play happens and you can just hear the ball bouncing under the net after it has gone in. It is different. I don't really think so. I think the most important thing with or without fans is to be as steady as possible. You don't want to have too many highs and lows. Basketball is very emotional and you don't want to react to that emotion too much. The fans exacerbate that. And it's in a lot of, especially when you're home, that's usually a great thing. But I think you want to be as steady as possible and try to play your best game as possible, and try not to worry about it. We all wish there were fans. We certainly wish there were fans, but I think you have to try not to worry about it.
Thank you.
Hey, Coach, I asked Jacob, I'll ask you the same thing. How important will that first 5-minute stretch of the game be for you guys against Vanderbilt coming off of the West Virginia performance?
Yeah, very important. We had good workouts yesterday and a good practice today. But yeah, I mean, we have to keep in mind that our last time out, we did not play, competitively with a great team, and we expected to, and we prepared to, and we did not accomplish that. So to start the game at another high major team's arena, we want to come out and have great energy and execute and attack as best we can. And, the shooting is the one variable that you can't really control. I hope we make every 3-point shot, but you can't control that. But you can put yourself in a position to get good shots. You can put yourself in a position to get easier baskets or opportunities. And then defensively, hopefully we can just be closer to the defensive team that we feel like we are, and be as gritty and tough as possible.
If I could follow up, I don't know if I'll be able to talk to you after the game Wednesday. The addition of Loyola Chicago, another high quality non-conference opponent, went to the Final Four a couple years ago. A great run by them. Just your initial thoughts of getting that quality of opponent so quickly on a neutral court in Indianapolis.
Yeah. Well, it's a wild season, and we're trying to be flexible and nimble and all these buzzwords that we've heard for a lot of months now. And I've known Porter for a long time, and he was an assistant at St. Louis when Coach Majerus was there. And so, we hang out at the Final Four and we stay in contact through the season. They've missed some games. And so it sounded like a great opportunity for us. And then the neutral, it helps us not have to return the game next year, because one thing about adding games is those come with a second part of that. And you don't want to be too off balance in future years. So hopefully playing on a neutral court against another great team will be a good opportunity for us.
Chris, how did Connor Crabtree come through physically? And would you expect his role to expand as we move forward, or not so much?
No, very much so. He feels good, has had a couple of really good days here. I'd say his conditioning naturally has to improve, but he'll be in the regular rotation and be one of the early subs in the game. He looks very good, very competitive, very good shooter. I think he has a chance to be a really good player.
Thank you, Coach.
How will that boost your bench real quick? Willie, I'm assuming he'll come off the bench, right?
Yeah, for sure. It helps. It just adds depth with a guy who's, he's played at a high level in the American Athletic Conference, started a bunch of games as a true freshman. He's hungry. He's talented. He's tough-minded. So it'll really help us and hopefully give us that boost, not only tomorrow, but also for the whole season.
And I have one more scheduling question. I know that in the release you were thinking you were still looking to add a home game for this Sunday. How close is that to being a reality?
Sean, the guy who does those releases, we're trying. In a normal year, I would say no. There's no chance. But you just don't know what's going to happen. I would say that we would try to schedule a very good team or a high RPI or high net team. We wouldn't just try to fill the game to give us our 9th non-conference game on the schedule. We would try to, fill the game strategically against a very good team. So you don't want to tax my guys so much. I want to give them the best opportunities we can. I don't want to tax them so much so that we get too tired before Christmas.
We're going to be asking this probably every press conference.
I wouldn't think so. Yeah.